Wonderful. Okay, thank you so much, Anna. Perfect. Hi guys, welcome today. Gosh, it feels weird I'm on my own. I was saying I felt like a talk show host because we've had all these guests this week, and now I'm just like, oh no, it's me. I have to talk now. So welcome. Really good to see everyone. Hi, Kathy. So welcome, first of all, welcome to our final live. Thank you so much to everyone who's been joining us every day. Anna and Didi, really good to see you. Hi, Jane. Welcome. I've really been loving the feedback. A big thank you to our experts again. And thank you for all the feedback you've been giving. You've been enjoying it. You've been applying tips. It's been really, really awesome. So we've talked about the image, what color to wear. Thanks to Jane, we talked about what to think about when you're doing your makeup. We talked about your hair. So now, and we also talked about the do's and don'ts of LinkedIn. So now we're actually going to talk about taking the actual picture. Like, it's like a cake. We've had all the ingredients and now we actually have to bake the cake. So first I'm going to give you my top 3 lighting and posing tips, and then we can talk about the actual settings on your camera or your phone if you need to, and take it from there. And also, I asked in the group, but you can in here as well, if you can share with me your main concerns that you have when you take a selfie, why you don't like taking them, what you're worried about when you do take them, then we can address them here as well. So first of all, the whole point of this challenge was really just to teach you about how to take your DIY headshot. The whole point is that we have online content we have to create. We need to take pictures. And we are very much in a story generation. We're very much at a time where people want to connect with people and not just businesses. And I'm sure if you've ever attended any marketing class or course, they'll always talk about the know, like, and trust factor. And really, people, if you think about something, photographers, accountants, beauty therapists, whatever, they're usually like a million people who do what you do. So really, the thing that really differentiates us is often who we are, and we find our tribe and we connect with people. So by showing yourself constant, not all the time, like there's a balance to be had, but by showing yourself, every once in a while, showing the face behind the craft, it helps you connect with people and it helps people get to know you. And people like to buy from people they know and they like and they trust. So this is the whole point of why we're sharing these tips. So now I'm about to get really techie and try and share my screen. As I say a little bit prayer. Hope this works. Tell me if this works. Okay, can you see my screen? Hi, Auntie Ocha. Okay, I'm just gonna wait and see if it worked, and then I'll start. I'm just waiting for that to come up. Ah, perfect. Okay, it worked. So, let me try it and see how I make this bigger. Okay, so basically the selfie. There are 3 main things we need to consider when we're taking a selfie, and I have this PDF, so I thought I'll just share this with you. The first one is lighting. It's really important for you to have good light. If you ask any photographer, the most important thing when you're taking a picture, sorry, I keep looking back and forth to make sure that there's a 20-second delay, so I have to make sure that it's actually showing you what I need to show you. So lighting. If you ask any photographer, the most important thing when it comes to taking a good picture is good light. It makes all the difference. And afterwards, I'll give an example with my ring light. Good lighting makes all the difference. Soft light, we call God's beauty light. And really, especially if you're for older people, like once you start getting those wrinkles and those imperfections, soft light just flattens out all those imperfections. So I have a little example here where you can see some people take dark selfies. Obviously, most people know not to do this. Flash is ugly light. Like, even as a photographer, I don't enjoy flash when I have to use it. I don't use it in the studio. So I would always advise avoid using flash for any of your selfies. Use natural light, which means sunlight. Okay, so this is just a simple example. Too dark, too much flash, that's just natural light. So I'm standing in front of a door. Okay, So whether you're taking your picture inside or outside, you need soft light. So a lot of people take their selfies in the sun, but actually the sun just washes you out. You know, it's a very harsh, it's a very strong light. And the only people that really look good in that light are like those twains who have perfect skin and can just take anything. So if once you're mature, you know, a little bit older, you definitely want to stay out of harsh sunlight, because what the harsh sunlight does is exaggerate every wrinkle, every imperfection, every pore that you have. So definitely avoid, okay? What is the good light? Good light is, there are a couple of ways to find the good light. One is just to stand in front of your window or sliding door, and then with the curtains, if you have day blinds, just draw the day blinds, and that will give you nice soft light. Also, going out on a cloudy day, you know, so that's when, you know, when the clouds are out and you can see the sun shining behind the clouds. So it's still sunny, and it's still bright, but it's nice and soft and even light, and that's really good. Another way is to take your picture 60 to 90 minutes before the sun sets. Again, the sun is really low in the sky, and so the light is very soft and beautiful. So there's a couple of ways to get soft light. Again, avoid flash. Next, clutter. Avoid clutter, check your background. So there are a couple of points of view on this one. For me, I like to shoot my headshots, my professional headshots, in the studio. And that's because it's a clean background. It's very versatile, very flexible for my client. So you can use it as a banner on your website. You can put text on top of it. I tend to use a white and a gray background because they're very versatile. They go with every skin tone, every outfit. They're just very flexible. However, having said that, this is your brand. You want to add your personality to it. So as you can see here, I saw a blue. Okay, point to note, these pictures are not really headshots. This is more for like a glamour selfie, but the principles are the same. So I like this blue wall. It's a nice blue wall, and like you can see the eye pop out against it. So whatever you're picking out in terms of what's your background, whether you're shooting inside or outside, the whole theme that we've had throughout this week is about making sure that whatever you do, whatever you wear, wherever you take your picture, make sure it's not detracting away from your face. And so it's really important that you have a nice clean background. So here you can see I have like lots of stuff, wires coming out of my head. That's a no-no. I mean, here I'm standing in front of curtains, you know, but they're still distracting. There's some light coming through. So that's not great. And then here I just have a nice clean wall, and then you can see, you can see how you're not just focused on my face. And that's really important. So even if you're going outside to take a picture, you know, because that's part of your brand, you want to be outdoors, brick wall, a nice clear brick wall. A mural is fun because they're nice and colorful, you know, but as long as it's not too distracting. If you want to stand in front of something green, pick like a green hedge, but be careful that you're not standing in front of a tree, because then you start having branches come out of your head. And again, it's really distracting. So it's really just being intentional and paying attention to everything that is happening around your frame. And it takes time, it takes practice, you know, but once you take a picture, just take a look at it on your phone and see if there's anything that's distracting from your face. One quick tip when it comes to background, especially if you're standing outside, is that if you take a step away from your background, so whether it's a wall or a tree, then it allows your face to be more in focus because the background's a little bit further away. So that just gives you a nice degree of separation. Okay, now number 3, face angles. Knowing your face is very important, and picking the angle is very important. So let me grab my phone here. Can you see? Okay. So I always say hold your phone slightly above your eye, but you don't want to be way too high where it's like, hi, and you don't want it to be really low. So I'm going to show pictures of that right now. Okay. See this first picture? No. I see people do selfies like this all the time. And this is, obviously you wouldn't do this with a headshot, but people do this with selfies. Look at this picture. Look, you can see my double chin. You can see like up my nose. It's so unattractive. Why would you do this? Don't do this. This is okay. but it's a little bit high. It's very high, and you would definitely not do this for a headshot because it's too high. It doesn't look. You can see my hand that I'm holding it out. It's very unprofessional. So here, this is just slightly above my eye line, you know, and you're connecting directly with my eyes, which is really all you're trying to do. Okay, so here, stay with me, stay with me on this. I feel as women, we're very critical of ourselves. You know, it's how we're raised, it's part of society. So usually once a woman looks in the mirror and looks at her face, for most women, you start to immediately look at the things you don't like. You start criticizing, oh my, I'm like, look at my under eyes, and oh no, my mouth and my lips, and I don't like my forehead and all those lines. And so we're very critical of ourselves. And you know, I would really love, and this is like a little bit of homework for this weekend, is for you to stand in front of the mirror for like 5 minutes, maybe when you're brushing your teeth tonight, and just look at your face and look about what you love about your face. You know, think about your favorite features of yourself. Because often, one of the things I do in consultations is I ask my clients, what do you love most about yourself? What do you love most about your face? And it's very hard for most people to actually decide on something and pick something. But if I said, what don't you like? There's like a laundry list. So, you know, models spend a lot of time looking at their face, getting to know your angles, because we all photograph slightly differently. And I'll show you this on video as well. But really just take some time to get to know your face. Most people can't be photographed straight on unless you have a really symmetrical face. It's not that complimentary. So it's really about knowing your angles slightly, moving your face slightly up and down. And you only know it if you practice, and if you actually spend time getting to know your face and getting to know yourself. Yeah. So in terms of how tight you want to go for a headshot, the old school idea of a headshot is quite tight. So it would be like this. So it's literally like a head and a little bit of neck. But I feel like for more modern headshots, they're a little more flexible. So I would give enough space like down to your breastbone. You can see that. So that would be, because the idea again is your face, it's close up. You want to connect with your eyes. You know, you have that nice smile. So you want it to be close enough, but it doesn't have to be like right up into your face. So I think that you have a little bit of room to play with. I'm sorry if everyone has comments. I can't look at them right now, but I will come to them afterwards. So ask your questions, put your comments, and I'll read them afterwards. Okay, let's see what else we have here. And I mean, this is just a general selfie. Have fun, you know, have fun. And if anyone wants this PDF, just let me know and I can email it to you. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen now and hopefully go back to the video. She says optimistically. Okay, great. So those are kind of my 3 tips: lighting, background, and know your angles. So let's play around with that angle idea right now. Oh, something I forgot to mention. So phones, and most people, I always assume people know it, but you might not know this. With your phones, and I have an iPhone especially, it's actually a wide angled lens, which basically means it stretches things out. So when you're taking a selfie or a DIY headshot, you don't want it to be too close, because I don't know if you've ever, I mean, play with it afterwards, but if you ever held your phone close to your face, you see if you hold it too close, it might start to stretch your face out a little bit, and that's because that's the lens. You can't change that. So it has to be a good distance so that it's actually stretching the edges of your background as opposed to the edges of your face. And a quick tip: this is why you never stand at the end of a group shot, because that's why you always look wider than you actually are. Like if you've ever been in a group picture and you stand right at the end, and then you're like, why do I look so big? It's because of the wide angle lens. I always stand in the middle of the group shot where it's nice and safe and there's no distortion. So you're welcome. Okay, so we talked about I'm gonna go back to the angles and knowing your face. Okay, I'm gonna play with this. I mean, this camera is not a wide angle, but it'll give you some idea. So you can see here, I'm showing a lot of, I wouldn't take a picture like this because you can see my chins. I'm not happy with that, you know. So, but and this is the same if you're doing this for a Zoom video call as well. I watch your angles. Now I put the camera just above my eye line, and it's a lot more complimentary to me. It's hiding all these extra chins that I'm enjoying at the moment, you know. And so it's just pay attention to the way you use your camera. And then the final bonus tip that I was going to give you was, it's something I do with my clients, and it's basically sticking out your chin. And what this does is that it just tightens everything up. So if you look at my face, this is my face normally, especially if you pay attention to here. And then I just stick my chin out. And if you can see what's happening is that it's suddenly like pulling everything down, pulling everything tightly up. So especially last time someone mentioned about jowls. So this will just help. And then I just put my chin down slightly. And suddenly my face looks slimmer. You'll see this better if you do it on a phone. And so just play around with it. From the side, it looks like this. So this is me relaxed and my chin is out. Okay, it's a very subtle gesture, but I use that in all my pictures, and anyone who takes pictures, you see that. The chin just goes out slightly and it's down. Yeah? Okay. Okay, so I feel like there's a lot to share, but I just want to go through a couple more quick tips that will help. If you're using artificial light, so I have a ring light here, that's what I'm using to light my video. The direction of light is very important. So always face your light. So this is soft light. You can see my skin looks nice and like pretty decent, you know, even. You can't really see any imperfections. It's nice and clean. Look at the side light. Now you can see like shadows, you can see a spot. You never want to stand to the side of your window. You want to stand in front. So imagine this light is my window. This is my window. Stand in front of your window. This is my window. Stand in front. Hiya. Not to the side of your window. Not to the back of your window, because now my face is all dark. And never, ever, ever light your face like this. This is horror. This is actually what they use in horror movies. So again, direction of light is important. I hope that's helpful. I have to put that back up now. Body language. This is so important, and people don't, a picture is a window to your soul. It tells us about you. And if your picture is uneasy and a little bit nervous and uptight and stern, it's all about body language. So before you take a picture, just take a deep breath. It's just a quick do that right now as you're listening to this live. Literally just take a deep breath, hold it for 3 and breathe out again, and you feel the tension leaving your body, and suddenly the tight shoulder suddenly becomes a more relaxed shoulder. So really, just body language is super important. If you feel yourself getting stressed because you're trying to get it right, just take a deep breath, take a moment, take a deep breath and go back to it, okay? Definitely don't try and take your pictures when you're tense, because it always shows on your face. And so, when clients get worked up, we take time out and we do our breathing exercise and then we come back to it. Okay, final tip. I feel like this might be long. Final tip, smiles. Michelle referred to this as well, and last time. Smile, and smile simply means smile with your eyes. We use the word approachable. I think every business, no matter what sector you're in, you want to feel approachable. You want people to feel like you're approachable. You want people to look at your picture and go, yeah, I could talk to her. Yeah, I'm interested in what she's saying. So while the lady boss pictures are great, you really want to smile. And it's not everyone can do it naturally. It does take time, but everyone can do it. And one of my tips that I tell clients all the time is to think about something. Think about something, first of all, and think about something that makes you happy. Think about a loved one, a pet. For me, I always think about food. I'm like, pork chops, brownies. Like, I'm a foodie, so I get very excited about food. But basically, it's instead of having a blank look in your headshot, you see, it doesn't quite reach you want it to come into your eyes. So even if you don't see my mouth, you can see that I'm smiling, so this is a blank face. And then this is me smiling with my eyes. So think of a warm thought You know, think of something that just makes you happy. Think about freedom after COVID-19. Think about a holiday you will get to take. You know, whatever it is, just keep that thought in your head and keep it as you kind of take that picture just nice and warm. You don't have to be, and to have a warm, approachable picture, you don't have to be like, geez. You know, you can smile. Again, and again, play with the angle of your face. So I wouldn't, like, for me, I have a fuller face. So I wouldn't go straight on. I would go at an angle. I would bring my chin down slightly. And I would just play around with it. Again, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna take a pause there. Let's see. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, now I've lost everyone's comments. Okay, so let me just go into how to take the actual selfie, then I'll go try and find my questions. So how to take the actual selfie, different ways to do it. Take a selfie, hold your phone in your hand. Then grab the phone. Hold your phone in your hand at a safe distance. Can you see that? So remember, not too close because of the wide angle, safe distance. And then you can use the self timer, so you're not trying to pose and take the picture. I mean, this is the hardest way to do it. The other way is you just actually just stand your phone up against some books, make sure it's the right distance, slightly above you, for eye contact, and then again, use the self timer. You can do 3 seconds or 10 seconds on most phones, and then you can get ready in your pose. I mean, it will take a couple. Even if I did it, it would take a couple because you have to, it takes a while. Another way to do it is if you have a mirror behind your phone, then you can see what your expression and what your face is doing so that it's a little bit easier. And then if you're super advanced, this is what I use. It's a mini tripod, this part, and this is a phone holder thing. So you can hold your phone both ways. And I can put the links in it. I just got it from Amazon. I just Googled phone holder and mini tripod. And they're not very expensive, they're only like 20, 25 pounds. So that's another way to take the selfie. Well, okay, so I think that's pretty much it. Hopefully I've given you lots of tips, and now I'm going to try and find your comments, which I've lost. And I hope you guys have found it helpful. So let us see. 21 comments. And yeah, if anyone has any questions, do let me know. Okay, I don't think I can see any comments. Okay, I think I wouldn't have been able to see your comments because they've gone past. Usually I'm tracking them while the other person's talking. So, and does anyone have any questions about the selfie and anything about any other questions, anything I can help with? Please let me know. I'm glad you guys think it's hilarious. It's hilarious. So one of the questions actually that I was asked in the group was that you often, sometimes, I know people feel uneasy, self-conscious about taking the selfie. And honestly, everyone feels that way. It's very vulnerable to be in front of the camera in general. And even when you're taking it, you're thinking about putting it out there, and you know, maybe you're not perfect and you're not looking exactly the way you want to look. But honestly, I think we stress way too much about this. Really, first of all, take that deep breath and just relax yourself. And it's the energy that you put into taking the selfie is the energy that will come out when you take the picture. So if you, sometimes, you know, you look at a picture and you just don't like it, and it usually has to do with the energy the person had when they were taking that picture. So, you know, take a couple and take lots, take 10, take 20, you know. And then if you're not sure which one works best, ask someone whose opinion you trust, who knows you, and ask them which one they like most and which they think best reflects you. But it's one of those things that the more you do it, the more comfortable you feel. Okay, thanks, Jane. Okay. Sorry, I can only see a couple of comments. So, but thank you, Jane. Jane says great tips and advice. Okay, Ndidi says, tips for people with small eyes. What's the best way to smile? Like my mom, whenever she smiles, her eyes are hidden. Yeah, no, this happens. So if you have really, some people when they smile, like I think that probably happens to me a little bit, when they smile, like their eyes disappear altogether. And so if you were taking a headshot, you probably wouldn't go into a full smile. You would need to, two things you can do. You can either close your eyes, and then when it's time for your headshot, open up widely and then take the picture just after your eyes relax. Or you just do a simple, instead of going for a small smile where your eyes close up, you go for like another half smile and keep your eyes open. And then also, good thing, another tip is that whatever is closer to the camera appears bigger. So you would probably tilt the camera a little bit closer, so the eyes, instead of having the phone straight at, you would tip it slightly, and then the eyes would be closer to the camera, and that would make it bigger. Okay, if you're doing a headshot with another person, should you face each other or in the same direction? Okay, oh, I love collabo headshots. Those are always fun. You can play around with this. Honestly, it's fun depending on your brand. So like if I do hairstylists and I'm doing a team, we kind of go Vanity Fair style headshots, personal branding. But if it's just a simple, I mean, you wouldn't ever have like on LinkedIn have like a headshot of 2 people. So I'm thinking more like if you had a banner where you were showing your team, then you would have 2 of you facing the same way. I mean, you also see the pictures where they can go back to back, but again, you're always facing the same way because a picture is giving a message and the message has to be consistent. So it has to be, this is us, this is who we are, and you both have to be making contact with the camera. So whenever I post people, each person's actually posed individually and then you're brought together so everyone is as strong as the other person. My eyes never seem to be looking in the right place. Any tips on where you're looking? So yeah, so we have a tendency when you're using a phone, we have a tendency to look at the screen, which is what I'm doing now, but you need to look at the camera, which is, so I should be looking directly at you now. So I'm looking right here at the camera as opposed to the screen where I'm looking at myself. So you have to for your eyes to be looking straight out, they have to be looking at the lens, which is the little camera thing at the top. So even with people, sometimes people are looking, if I'm taking a picture, people are looking at me, but they're looking past the camera. So I have to say, come back to the lens, because that is the outlet for your picture. Okay, perfect. Okay, any more questions? Great, Natasha. I'm glad. Yeah, no, the tips is very good. So that's why, like, if you have a fuller face, like Mo, I mean, I vary from being like a size 8 to size 16, so it just depends where you catch me. So I know how to pose for every size. This is what I've learned. So for a fuller face, I bring the chin out and I bring it down slightly. But if I have a lean face, I just need to bring the chin out. I don't need to bring it down because my face is already lean. So it just depends. It just depends on how you feel and how you want to look. Okay. Well, it's almost 7:30, so if there are no more questions, I think we're gonna wrap up. Okay, so first of all, thank you so much to everyone who has been a part of this challenge. I am honestly so grateful. I had never done a Facebook Live before this week, and I was actually petrified. And I tried to cancel, but then it was too late. So thank you so much for everyone who's turned up, for all our experts. Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Nicolette, who's turned up and been really supportive. This has been amazing. I mean, I hope we'll get to see some pictures of what you guys have been doing over the weekend, and we will be announcing our winners on Monday. So we'll see you in the group. If you have any more questions, just feel free to text me or call me or whatever. I'm more than happy to answer. Otherwise, happy new month, happy Friday, and yeah, have a great weekend. Thank you, ladies. Yes, go practice, Joe. Go practice. Bye, ladies. Thank you so much. Bye.